Today's topic is reasoning traces. This is for our series on AI cloud architecture. Subscribe to the channel and like this video. Much appreciated. Reasoning traces sit in the reason phase of the agent loop. What is a reasoning trace? A reasoning trace or thinking trace is intermediate model text produced before a tool call or final answer. Those tokens plan the next move. They're not a separate brain outside the model. Traces shape multi-step tool choice, latency, cost, and how you debug failed runs. Why log the plan step? It helps to log a plan step and compare it to the tool args that actually fired. It also raises safety questions. Who sees the scratchpad and how much stays in the live context window? Treat traces as design knobs, not proof of correctness. Chain of thought, or COT, prompts the model to write step-by-step reasoning before it answers. In agents, that often means a prompted scratchpad. Think, then emit one tool call. Classic React used thought, action, and observation lines. Modern APIs keep a thought or plan field, while native function calling replaces free-form action lines. One reason phase completion can stack 3 layers. First come optional private thinking tokens from extended or deliberate reasoning modes. Second is a natural language plan or rationale step you can log. Third is the tool call commitment. Structured tool JSON, a multi-tool batch, or final user-facing text the host must parse to act. Anthropic-style interleaved thinking can alternate private thought with tool use inside one reason phase, so the plan layer and the tool call commitment may weave together rather than run strictly in sequence. Many production agents receive only structured tool calls with no user-visible reasoning. Internal deliberation tokens still run in the forward pass. You just don't get a text dump. That's simpler for UX and safer against leaking strategy. But it's harder when you need to know why the model picked that tool. Hidden traces don't mean the model skipped reasoning. They mean you withheld the dump. Encrypted thinking blocks returned by some APIs still count as sensitive logs. Treat fields like encrypted content or thinking signatures the way you treat secrets in agent trajectories. Some frontier models offer extended reasoning modes or high reasoning model modes that spend more tokens on internal deliberation before answering. In practice, you set knobs such as OpenAI reasoning effort, Anthropic adaptive thinking or budget tokens, and Gemini thinking level with include thoughts. Matching Bedrock fields cover Claude and other reasoning hosts. Hard multi-hop research, careful tool sequencing, and policy-heavy tasks often improve under those modes. Trade-offs are higher latency and cost per reason step. So for a single known lookup, that extra deliberation is usually waste. A trace can sit inside one completion before tool JSON as a separate planner call with an explicit plan message, or across React thought action interleaving each iteration. Separate planner calls leave a clear plan artifact for long workflows that may replan later. If full thoughts stay in the message list forever, context fills with self-talk. So log full traces externally and keep only short summaries live. Learn more at systemsarchitect.io. Like and subscribe to the channel and follow the playlist. A visible trace isn't always a true report of the model's internal computation. Post hoc rationalization risk is real. The text can look confident while the tool args diverge. Still treat the trace as a high-signal debug narrative for builder review. OpenAI-style chain of thought monitoring uses a second model on those narratives to flag reward hacks and policy breaks. Heavy pressure that trains the model to hide bad thoughts can make the same misbehavior harder to see. If the thought said, "Look up by email," and the tool uses a phone number, you found a concrete inconsistency. Showing raw traces to end users can reveal tool names, internal IDs, policy wording, or prompt injection content meant only for the model. Should users see every thought? Prefer sanitized progress for users. Short status strings mapped from tool names. Keep full trace exposure for operators, support, and evals. Visible versus hidden traces is a product and security choice. Treat traces as sensitive logs. They may restate system prompts or prior user PII. Public agent session dumps have shown credentials that lived only inside encrypted or hidden reasoning blocks. So redact those fields before you share trajectories. Budget two pots: planning tokens spent thinking and acting tokens spent on tool I/O. An elegant 800 token plan that calls the wrong API still fails. A 20 token decision that calls the right API often wins. Traces help multi-step tool choice only when they change the commitment, not when they pad verbosity. Trace logging and observability of reasoning should capture thought or plan text when available. Tool calls and args, tool results, final answer, and stop reason. Graders can check whether the plan named the right entity and whether tool args matched. Send records to your observability backend on Amazon Bedrock, Microsoft Foundry, or Gemini Enterprise Agent Platform hosts. Don't always show thought text to end users. Libraries such as Pydantic AI's thinking capability and Light LLM reasoning content map provider native effort budgets into one log shape. That keeps evals comparable across hosts. Context window consumption by traces grows every turn if full thoughts stay in the live message list. Prefer external logs plus short in-context summaries so later reason steps stay affordable. Trace summarization and compression keep long deliberation from exploding the window after react thought action interleaving builds up prior observations. Visible short thoughts give cheap interpretability when multi-step tool choice is hard. Operations teams get inspectable failures instead of opaque toolpicks. Cost control improves when you switch high reasoning modes off for trivial lookups. Trust improves when operators see full traces while users see only sanitized progress. Skip extended deliberation when the task is a single known lookup or latency budgets are tight. Chat UX and tiny cost per session products rarely want long internal deliberation tokens on every turn. A stale plan without replan logic becomes a liability after a failed tool call. Reach for native tools only, short prompted thoughts, or a fixed workflow instead of always enabling high reasoning modes. A reasoning trace is intermediate model text in the reason phase before tool call commitment or a final answer. Traces can improve multi-step tool choice and debugging, but they cost tokens, may leak planning detail, and aren't guaranteed faithful. Log full traces for operators and evals, show sanitized progress to users, and spend planning tokens only when they change the action. Thanks for checking this out. Hope you learned something. Find a lot more articles and guides on both systemsarchitect.io and codeguides.io.